The pregame show sponsored by Disney here. I'm, digging deep here because obviously when my dad does it by himself, we do not win. So I got to get out here and make magic happen to start exercising the demon of 2023. This is a big game for us. The Panthers did it to us last year. They're certainly the more talented team at this point than we were last year. But Dad, I'm curious, just off the right off the bat, is this game, if we were to reverse sweep this series, right, and we come back and we win three, does that all make up for last season, or is last season still a black eye, or does that make everything roses and gumdrops?
No, because last year we should have won the cup. We had an historic team and, kept up that stupid historic pace the entire time, the entire year, at the expense of being tired and getting some injuries at the end of the year. And I feel like if they played that differently, if Bergeron didn't go into the playoffs injured, maybe, I don't know. If Allmark didn't go into the playoffs injured, I don't know. Maybe they finished Florida when they were up 3-1. So it doesn't atone for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. If they were to come back and beat these guys, it would feel like close to a championship. It would.
Yeah.
But listen.
I mean, I'm not saying that they then get sweep next round, right? But if they come back, I think it would definitely be pretty validating as a Boston Bruins fan. That was a kick in the balls last year, especially against this team, doing it against this team. And this is what we got to talk about, right? I understand it's far-fetched. I understand it's probably not going to happen. But, I mean, it's on the table. And, there's been a big shakeup. It kind of forced with Marchand being out. So we'll see, Dad. I mean, you have the lines in front of you, Dad. What are the lines looking like for the, do or die game?
Can we come back from gumdrop land? I mean, come on. Like, let's talk about that, right? If we tie the series, like, holy cow, The problem is we actually, play a little better on the road. They're similar to the Celtics. They play a little better at road for some reason than at home. So, I would like their chances, the Bruins, of winning tonight on the road in Florida better than if Game 6 going back to Boston. Then you're asking, let's tone it down a little bit. I mean, it's a beautiful dream, but let's not get crazy, okay? The lines tonight, this is what the projected lines are. I mean, man, when you have your second best scorer out, it dulls everything down. We got DeBrusk, Geeky, and Pasternak on the first line. Heinen, Coyle, Frederick is our second line. Van Riemsdyk, Zacha, Brazeau. I don't know. Nessen's predicting that Zacha is going to get demoted to the third line. He certainly deserves it. Lacko, Beecher, and Maroon. So, on defense, we got Lowry, McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, Witherspoon, and Peake. I like our defensive core. I like that McAvoy played a little better last game. He wasn't amazing, but he was a little better. So I am encouraged about that. But, hey, let's go one game at a time, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. One game at a time. I understand it's fantasy lands, right? But, it's a reality we got to talk about. We can't ignore the fact that they did this to us last year, and we have a chance to do it this year. But when you read those lines, it really sounds like we have, 3 or 4 third line, fourth lines. I don't know how many of those lines crack the top 4 on, Avalanche, and get teams like that, especially with the way that, we're producing. I think last game, one of the things that stood out to me is Tkachuk, I think, outshot almost our entire first line. He had 8 shots last game, and I don't think that those guys combined. I think he actually almost doubled. I think in total our first line had 5 shots or something like that. But yeah, it was rough.
That's the most goals we're getting too. So unless we can hold them to a shutout or 1 goal, that's it. And the young Cav is gone. That's right. The old bull gave him the boot. No, I didn't. I don't know what. Is he having the technical difficulties for once? Oh, the young kid. Oh, what's the matter? The old man? Do I need to show you how to get back on? I
don't know what you're talking about. Did I bump something or did you kick me out?
Do you need help? Of course I didn't kick you out. You just, you don't know how to use technology yet. You don't know how to use those apps. So anyway, but listen, this is a fascinating game tonight, right? So, I mean, either way, I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining. From either it's going to be entertaining because we won and we get to extend this series, or entertaining because the end of the game's going to come and if the Bruins know they're getting knocked out because they're down by a couple goals. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they start taking some cheese shots to knock out some of their stars for the next round. They seem really perturbed with what happened with Marchand and the hand they were dealt with the refs last game. They seem really pissed, especially about losing their captain. So either way, I feel like it's going to be entertaining. Entertaining because we win and we get to rub it in their face, even if, we're still 2 games down. We still need to win 2 more. Or, we're down 2 or 3. We know we're going to lose, and we just start taking heads off, trying to injure guys for the next round. Because, hey, sorry, you did it to Marchand. You purposely sucker punched our captain and knocked him out for the rest of the series. So, too bad, so sad, don't feel bad. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think what you said. We've been trying to goad them into fights and everything like that, and they haven't been taking it. But at this point, at the end of the game, you could tell them, listen, I'll drop the gloves first. I'll take the major, and just freaking fight me. And the thing is they want to save themselves for the next series. They have no reason to fight. They have nothing. They're thinking about the cup. We're of course just thinking about getting revenge, and that's sadly the position our offense has put ourselves in. So we'll see. We'll see if these line changes can make any magic happen. Like you said, the Bruins have a road game buff, so we'll see. We also got a guy named Jeff Unknown. Dad, do you want to read that?
Yeah. So some conspiracy theories out there, right? So he brings up a good point. He learned today that Colin Campbell is the executive vice president and director of hockey operations for the NHL and is the father of current Panthers assistant GM Gregory Campbell. Huh. What a coincidence. And, there's a picture going around, too, of a referee hugging a Florida Panther player. So I guess before one of these games or something like that. And, and then you have the NHL with that atrocious non-reversal. And the way these games have been called in general, like, they've doubled our power plays. And, we had that egregious Lauco goalie interference call, too, that was crucial in game 3. And then, there's a lot of conspiracies out there. You got Florida Panthers players hugging referees, and now you got, the executive vice president of the NHL, Colin Campbell, is the father of Gregory Campbell, happens to be the GM of Florida. So thank you for bringing that up, Jeff Unknown. I probably would have forgotten about it. And, we got Pat Ryan on Facebook. Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, let's talk about this. Pat Ryan, you were so right, my friend. That absolutely gutless, pathetic press conference by Don Sweeney. Like, what is that, man? I wanted fire and brimstone. I wanted Sweeney to just absolutely light up the NHL, almost borderline not being classy, like whatever, garbage, trash, organization, allowing that crap to happen. And, I think we lost the young Cav again. And, man, basically he gets up there and goes, well, I think, I don't know, they should just have more transparency and, put the refs in front of the mic to explain. No, dude, that was your time right there to express outrage. The league not suspending Bennett after a clear view was exposed of that cheap shot and that atrocious non-reversal, which Matt just sent me a link. Pat Maroon, ironically, was involved in the same exact play for the Wild earlier this year. He just cross-checked a guy on the other team into his own goalie, shot it in, no goal. They reversed it. Talk about
I thought I was watching the same play. I thought I was watching the same exact play. It was so exactly the same. And I think a lot of the people who are like, oh, you're crying, there's a lot of conspiracy, but this is what fans do, okay? Don't act like your fan base is immune to blaming the refs because everyone has done it once, and we're doing it. It is what it is, right? Live with it, get over yourself, right? And I think one thing that will stand out is that you think that at some point they would say, hey, this is kind of looking bad. We got to even this up. The penalty discrepancy. I don't know if you mentioned the power play discrepancy, Dad, in your mention of Lauco, Marchand, of the overturned, the not overturned goal. Like the power play discrepancy is major this series, and it's like you think at some point they'd be like, we got to make this look at least a little bit better, but they're not. They're just layering it on, and giving people who are complaining about the fix a lot of ammunition because it's definitely not even close to like even in a lot of different ways.
That's a great point. And you know what? I agree with you. The NHL, the Bruins are probably going to get a majority of the power plays tonight. They're probably going to get like 5 power plays, which is great. Like if it helps us win the game, fantastic. But it doesn't make up for what's been done. That non-reversal goal could have single-handedly decided the game. I'm sorry. You just don't know what's going to happen. You take that goal away, and the Bruins don't have to kill 2 minutes of power play after that. We could win that game. And now it's a 2-2 series. It's a 2-2 series. So I don't, I bet we do get a majority of the calls tonight because the NHL is going to be feeling it, and the refs are going to be like, oh, man, we screwed that one up. All that goody two-shoe crap. But, either way, it should be an interesting game, I'm realistic. I just want to win another game just because it's going to put more wear and tear on Florida. They're going to pick up more small injuries, hopefully a major injury. And then, they're going to play a game 6 against us. They're going to travel back up to Boston, pick up some more minor injuries, maybe another major injury. And I'm sorry, they've turned me into this guy. You purposely take out our captain and you don't get suspended. That's it. All bets are off. I'm sorry. No good guy here. Hey, they purposely injured our guy. Nothing became of it. So eye for an eye. I don't care. Call it what you want. You want to play with the big boys when it comes to cheap shots? I'm not going to cry if you get one.
And the league didn't step in when they should have, the player safety office, and the Florida Panthers aren't standing up for their own crap and taking a fight. All it would take is a 5-minute fight, 4-on-4 for a few minutes, and then everyone can move on. But they won't even do that. So you really put the onus on the Bruins to take it into their own hands, and it can't be clean because the Panthers aren't going to let it be clean because they're not fighting, right? So it's going to be interesting. Hustle Stacks coming in. I think he's a part of another podcast that does parlay with us. I think I'm pretty sure.
Thank you, Hustles. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're another great podcast. They do a lot of different content, like my dad and I. Definitely check them out. Parlay with us. We're subscribed to them. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, and please subscribe to us. Hit that subscribe button. I didn't know this, but you kids told me it's important for the show. Please just go to YouTube, hit subscribe, and that's it. You did your part. We appreciate it. And you do your part if you chime in. That's even better because you help the show roll along. I love that. Let me just check one more time for Facebook.
Hustle Stack, do you have a prediction for this game? Does anybody have predictions for this game? I know we're 4 minutes past. Does anybody have any predictions? Anybody in the chat? I'm going to say Bruins win this game. I think they get their road buff, their road, power play, in a figurative way, because it seems like they really do well on the road.
Scatter the Wins, one of our big fans, our new fans that we love. He feels the Bruins could do it. My son's with you, Scatters. He's a believer. He's going all in. He's sensing karma and fate and reversing what was done last year. I'm not ready to go that far. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm predicting that Florida blows us out, and we get one good shot at them. Somebody does one cheap shot, and it just satisfies me to good end there. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. We'll see. But man, the deck's stacked against us. Not having Marchand. You saw how tough it was to score goals for us. We got 2 goals last game. One of them was a little fluky, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do, people.
Listen. This is the old Bull's wheelhouse. He thrives in being an opportunity to be pessimistic. He will never pass up. So, I honestly, guys, I've never seen my dad predict an underdog New England. This is so no surprise. Here my dad is. Thank you, Jeff Unknown. Bruins for the win. It costs you nothing to have a little bit of faith, and my dad cannot do that. He has to weather his heart just a bit and hedge it because he's too afraid to get hurt. But I think we can win this. There's no reason. We're a professional hockey team. We can win 3 games in a row. We can win 3 games in a row against anybody. So we'll see. I want at least 7 more games of hockey after this series, just like we did with Toronto. My dad was so sure that series was over, and here we are with a chance to exercise our demons and do it all over again. Actually, and do what they did to us to them. So, yeah, I think we should
We get
probably
a couple
finish here, Dad.
Facebook. We get a couple
Oh yeah,
Facebook
what's on
comments.
Facebook? What's on Facebook?
My buddy Phil, way too many turnovers and crappy execution. You are right, my friend. The turnovers are a killer. I mean, Florida's a good forechecking team, but in the playoffs, you got to sharpen that crap up. And Scott Jubert, my old jail buddy, yep, what I want and what I believe are two very different things. I'm with you, Scott. I'm the same. But, Scott says, hey, there is faith, but there is reality. We just lost 3 straight games. Now you believe we can win 3 straight? I don't know. Some do. Some do, Scott. I'm hoping it, eat a lot of crow. We'll have to see. But, man, I just don't feel good about it. And my buddy Phil said, get the golf clubs ready to go to Cancun. And Cancun, my all-time favorite destination. The old bull loves that place. Oh, we lost the young Cav again. And it looks like it's almost game time. They're all coming on the ice. So, all right, my son.
All right, go Bruins. Go Bruins, everybody. See you from Disney. I'll try and be on for the post game. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.